Hey guys, welcome back to the TNT podcast,
where we'll be discussing everything millennial and more.
Thoughts and opinions reflect views of our own.
I'm Toni.
And I'm Terry. Now let's get to the tea.
All right. So, recently, girl, Amanda Seales was on Jubilee.
I watched it.
Yes, with their 20 verse 1. It was 20 black conservatives and 1 black radical, who would have been Amanda, right? That was
it was interesting. It was definitely very interesting. A little sidebar to that, I did see that she had a rebuttal on after she did it. I didn't get to watch the rebuttal. Somebody interviewed her and she was like sharing the experience on there. I'm looking forward to watching that, but do tell. Go ahead.
Girl, I couldn't imagine being surrounded by 20 coons, child. It was just, my God, that level of ignorance. Oh my. Like, there was even a point where she stopped and said, and I was like, yeah, girl. God bless. But you know what? Shout out to her, though. Shout out to her, because I feel like she was the right person to be in that space.
What was it called again?
I think it was the
Jubilee.
20, Jubilee.
Jubilee's 20 verse
1.
20 verse 1.
Yeah, so okay. 20 black conservatives versus 1 black radical.
Okay, so I'll insert that link for anybody that wants to watch it. Yeah, when I watched it, my take on it, I was like, oh, this hurts. I was like, oh, this hurts, because they were dead serious with like their responses and their questions and like their justifications. And I'm just like, oh, do you understand that this would affect you? Like, you don't feel okay with this, but like
that level of self-hate is wild to really see that somebody. How did this even happen? How did he even get here?
That was the question I literally just had. Like, how you think?
But then you hear some of them, like the guy that was from Angola who was saying all that anti-black American stuff, right?
Oh, child.
You hear things and then it all makes sense. Yeah, you grew up in Maine. Once I heard Maine, I said, oh, okay.
But didn't he say that one of his parents was, both his parents were, no, maybe it's the wrong person on the episode, but there was somebody on the episode that was pretty much, he appeared to be of mixed race. I think maybe it's the same person. He appeared to be of mixed race, but both his parents were black, but everything that was coming out of his mouth was anti-black. And I was just like, oh, okay. And I think it was that person, because you said Angola, Africa. Okay, so then it's the right person. I'm trying to jog my memory. You know how that goes, but yeah. I just,
girl,
interesting. But you know, Amanda, we appreciate you. Thanks for taking the time out to talk to us.
It's your child.
Because I wouldn't.
No, it's like I said, you hear guys like that guy from Angola talking about all this stuff that they have to say about that are that's negative about Black American people, and it's just like
nothing positive, nothing conducive,
and then it all makes sense. Like I said, one, you're Black, you're an immigrant. And then you also grew up in fucking Maine. I already know what that conditioning is.
Yeah.
Right there.
There's nobody that looks like you. So you're going to do whatever you need to fit in. And you're going to side with whatever the most popular opinion where you are. You're going to side with that. And you can't convince me otherwise, because this is your surrounding.
And this is exactly why I do not believe in Black kids being in predominantly white schools. I don't believe in that shit, because I feel like that is a level of indoctrination that's going to happen in there, period. If you think them white teachers in there treating your kid differently, you're wilding.
I agree, because look what they're trying to pull from the school shelves. Look what they're pulling from the school shelves.
Period.
How is them pulling that? What, you have white educators that, okay, well, they don't have the knowledge to teach you about that.
No.
If they don't have a book in front of them. So if you pull those from the library, then
I've whole ass seen white teachers say that Kwanzaa is a holiday that's celebrated in Africa. I was like, okay. See, but neither here nor there. Okay, so back to what I was saying. See what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? These people do not need to be teaching our kids. That's our job. That's the point. Yeah, I just wanted to really just touch on, like I said, just the whole self-hate. Like the way I was hearing I don't remember that girl with the bad wig that was not parted.
I remember the wig.
A black man robbed my uncle. I'm just like, damn, like y'all really.
This is a lot of projection that's happening.
No,
here. This is a lot of projections. A lot of like, oh well, this was the experience that my uncle had, so I feel like they're all terrible across the board. Baby,
look in the mirror.
Babe, hun,
you are the they that you're talking about, honey.
And again,
there's a level of cognitive dissonance for sure.
Again, all these things happen, right? And you have these thoughts about it. Well, what do you do, and how do you show up to be an effective part of that change, other than say, these are the issues? What do you do? You don't come on Jubilee and do what you did with Amanda. Boo. What you doing in your community? What you doing when it happens? Are you bringing it to the attention of the people that it's, you know what I'm saying? Like, what part are you playing in this? I'm not saying for these not to be your concerns, but at the same time, it's like, if these are going to be your concern, make sure you're actively doing something about it.
Agreed.
Yes, you yourself can't be the only person that's going to make the difference, but like, actively do something about it too. Don't just talk about it, because now it just seems like you're bringing your anger and hurt and projection with no solution here.
They're not doing nothing about it. They're not doing nothing about it. All they're doing, and you know, that was what was pissing me off that whole time. And I'm glad that Amanda, I saw she really was the perfect person for this. She really pointed out the fact that they're sitting and demonizing and pointing their fingers at Black Americans for things that are effects of racism. You're not looking at the cause, but you're ready to demonize the effect of it, though, right?
Of course.
I can't. This whole thing was just, yeah. That's just my. We definitely have to make sure that we're instilling love of ourselves, love of our community, love of our people, because that's like, I feel like with everything going on, that's the only way we're really gonna find any solidarity and be able to like move forward as a people from everything that's to come. I just feel like we're not paying attention. I don't know.
And that's how it slips in. That's how it slips in and takes over. And you have people that spew shit like stuff like that.
I thought about what you said earlier when we were talking. We had a previous conversation before we started. Yeah, off camera.
Okay.
No, off camera, off recording. But when we were talking about people, Black people especially, being used as puppets to regurgitate, perpetuate or regurgitate anti-Black sentiments, it's insane.
Yeah,
it's really insane. And they know that that's, first off, let's keep it a bean.
That's their biggest weapon.
Yes, I also feel like the people that do that, like, you know, we have a lot of those. We have the Candace Owens of the world, the Byron, I can't remember, but they're all in that same. They know what they're doing. People like Candace Owens. Let me make it quick and before I move on. People like Candace Owens, they know that there's a freaking bag to be a Black person that is going against their people, because they know, just like you said, it's more palatable if it comes from a Black person. What a white man is shoveling, what a white man would be saying through them.
Yeah, that's true.
There's a bag you can get, and that is why they are over there. Make no mistake. I'm also very much grifting.
I'm also gonna insert the Candace Owens Jubilee YouTube link on the episode, because I did watch it and it was terrible. But at the same time, I'm gonna share it just so that people have an idea of who Candace Owens is if you don't.
And also, before we get off this topic, Jubilee know what they're doing too, because even with that whole 20v1, even though, like I said, thank God it was Amanda that was there, because she was definitely holding her own and lighting them up, and it was great. But Jubilee, I feel like I spoke about this on an episode before too. Like,
we were talking directly to each other.
Okay. Jubilee's definitely normalizing something here with the type of talk that they're having around Black people if we're not paying attention. The type of talk that they are normalizing with all of these 20v1s, I'm not okay with, and there's an intention. And I feel like this is all propaganda. Everybody, please get media trained. Media literacy is needed for real, because especially I feel like there's a lot of things being forced down our throat that we aren't even noticing.
And I don't think that, and just to end it off, I don't think that people aren't noticing it just because. I don't think they're intentionally not noticing it. I think that while there are some people that are intentionally not noticing, I think that the masses see that it's easier to shovel something like that down most people's throat, given the times that we're in now. It's easier to feed, because if I can feed you with my left hand, you won't see what my right hand is doing right now.
Facts.
If I'm sitting here giving you this and telling you here with my left, you don't even see my right hand doing what it's doing, you know? So yeah. I wanted to discuss millennial parenting. And I thought about this. We were having a conversation, I think it was a couple weeks back, where we often talk about how when we respond, I don't have children, but you have a child, where sometimes your kids be annoying. Sometimes your kids just show up when you sit down and you just about to bust open a bag of chips and eat a soda, and your kids just show up, and it's just like, oh, the piece goes out the window. Hold on, I don't get that no more.
No.
Hey, baby, what you need?
It is their world. We are living in it. Okay.
And while we love them, don't get me wrong. For sure. I wanted to. The point that I wanted to make is that our parents, in an aspect, envies that, or they don't understand it. And maybe envy is not the right word. They don't understand it, and they look down on it because they didn't necessarily get. They didn't get the chance to say that we were annoying as children. They didn't it's almost like when they hear us say it, it's just like, no, not tell him sit him annoying. No, but he is.
He is though.
He is right now.
Fine.
And sometimes, and again, kids are kids, and all in good fun. But children also, they're aware of when they want your attention, and they know the things to do to you to get your attention. So sometimes it happens, and you sitting here, and you as an adult, you deal with stuff, and you're just like, actually, I just need a second. I need a second, honey. Give me a second. Go sit, please. And the child is like, but, and then you have your parent that sees that, and your parent is just like, no, don't. They know they need you. Yeah, he needs me, and I know he needs me, but at the same time, he doesn't need me for anything conducive right now. He just needs me because he sees me sitting down about to drink this glass of water and bust open this bag of chips, and because I took this deep breath, he just wants. I want to be under you. And while it's okay, we love it. We're gonna embrace it. Internally, we're just like, okay, all right, cool. Can I get a second, honey? And it's true. I just want millennial to know that it's okay to have feelings like this about your kids. It doesn't mean that you hate your child. It doesn't mean that you don't want to be around your child. It doesn't mean that like your child takes up, like it's time consuming to be a parent. Like it doesn't mean anything like that. It can feel like that because your parents don't see and agree and think that you should have the feelings that you have about it. But coming from a millennial without children just yet, I got nieces and nephews, I got godkids. It's okay to say that they're annoying. It's okay to be like, actually, sit in the room for 5 minutes and I'm going to come get you when I'm ready.
I think us being able to say that they're annoying, in all honesty, is a sign of the times changing. We know, it is. Women, please, like, if you weren't acting like your life was aligned once you had your child, I feel like that was like just such a way of the past to basically just almost romanticize every aspect of parenting.
That's what it is, romanticizing parenting. That's what it was.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
I can agree.
It's not always a walk in the freaking park.
It's not. Because they be annoying. They be shaking.
Sometimes you come from work after working almost 10 hours a day, and you just want to sit down and relax.
I had a morning the other morning.
And they want you to wipe their butt.
And I'm gonna do it, but like, can you please?
Can you please?
I just got here.
Give me 5 minutes,
literally. And you can stay here. Just the other day, my niece, I forgot what we were talking. I was just chilling with her. It was really what it was. And my niece, she's like, "Auntie, you got a big belly. Do I have a big belly? No." But now, what provokes you to say that?
Why you gotta read me? What's this?
What provokes you to say that? Because what if Auntie had body issues?
And I be saying, and these new kids, they don't care.
They do not.
They do not. They say whatever comes to their mouth. I feel like, what?
She's a COVID baby too, and I feel like these COVID babies be like mouthy, extra mouthy. They be opinionated, and I encourage it. But when she said it, I laughed about it. It was funny. It was funny. I laughed about it. I didn't get sad or nothing. But I was just like, now what possessed you to say that? Because like, what if Auntie was having a bad day? And granted, I wasn't having a bad day. And that's what it was. Because even if I was having a bad day, I know that would have made me laugh anyway. Because I'm just like,
damn, don't read me, don't do me.
It was unprovocable. It was unprovoked. Tony, when I said I was sitting there, I was just sitting there. And I just happened to be recording. I caught it on camera too. I was just sitting there, and it shocked me. I was just like, it was very much. And my mom had she had a client with her, and I was, but at the same time, I was just like, you know what? It's fine, not a big deal. And I wanted to mention, as far as millennial parenting, I was watching an interview with Lala Anthony and Angie Martinez. I'll insert that in the YouTube description too. But she was pretty much saying like, why nobody told me what happens when your kid goes off to college? Because her son went off to college, and she was like, she was pretty much sharing that like she felt like she's used to being in the house with him and his friends, and like the noise is there, like it fills the space. And then she's just like, now that he's not there, she said at one point like she had a breakdown, like she cried and she was calling him. She's like, I need you to come home, like now. And he was like, I can't, I got basketball practice tomorrow. She knew like she had to deal with it, but pretty much in the interview she was basically saying like, oh, like nobody talked about this, and I am the parent of my friend group with the oldest child pretty much. And like everybody's still she's just like, oh, she's like, I didn't know that this was happening. But she's also like, yo, nobody could have said anything because my baby's the first, my baby's the first one going off to college. And she's like, and she started to say out loud, she's like, now it's making me realize that there are things that I have to deal with that I didn't realize I had to deal with because I grew up with my son. That's a part of millennial parenting too. She has a perspective that we don't necessarily have yet, but her perspective where she is now with Cayenne going off to college as her son's name, it's like she's realizing that, oh, there are things that I had to deal with within myself, why I was so dependent on my son being there and his friends filling the space and filling the room and like the noise being there, like. She says that she's from like a very family-oriented family. I used to watch. She had a reality TV show back in the day with her family. It was a really good show. She is family-oriented. She's, you know, her family was always there. But and with that, she's, you know, briefly kind of mentioned like, oh yeah, that's it. It's always been like how she dealt with things, but it's like, okay, now she's like, now why do I have to deal with this? Now why is this showing up? And I feel like that's also a perspective where I think she is a millennial parent, but she's in a stage where I would say you as a parent, you know why you function the way that you do, and you know that you're not using your child to fill spaces right now. He's not going off to college yet, but you know that.
Not yet,
where she's where she's in a space where she's like, well, now I have to figure out within me why. Who am I? Yeah. So and she said exactly that. She's like, now I have to figure out who I am now as a parent, because she raised him and they grew up together because they're not that far. And I thought that I just brought that up because it was an interesting take, and I was just like, oh wow, this is a great perspective, because like though she is a millennial, it's a different perspective of what you as a millennial would have as a parent. And I admired it, and watch the interview if you can.
I will.
I'll share it. The whole thing is really good, but watch the interview if you can.
I will. I will say before we move on from this segment too, that as a millennial parent, especially with my son is just turned 5 a couple months ago. It still trips me out that I'm his mom. Like, it's like a random thing. Like, I went to one of his friends' birthday parties with him, and she was like, what's something to do? She was like, Zuri's mom. And I was like, oh shit. I am Mom. What's my name? I have joined the big leagues. So yeah. Yes, I am a parent now. I'm responsible for another human. Pray for us.
And it's okay to be like, oh, that's me. They're calling me to the front. Be back, guys. Coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Joe Budden's podcast, I must say, I haven't watched it, but
you don't need to, girl.
I'm interested in. I haven't given it a chance.
See, that's not a pod that I think that I am meant to be a viewer for.
Okay.
Hence why I was like, you don't gotta watch it, girl. I just saw that clip. That's all I needed, honey.
I was gonna say, well, if you don't think you're gonna be a viewer, then
no, because they ignorant. Shout out to Marc Lamont Hill. He the only one that's the worst listening to up there. Ignorant. The rest of them is ignorant. Ignorant. Okay, that's what that is. And I will be talking about their ignorantness because what that clip that I saw was utterly disgusting. So,
oh yeah, I did catch that. Go ahead.
Disgusting. Marc Lamont Hill, as you know, is a new added member to Joe Budden's podcast. Marc Lamont Hill is a tenured professor at I believe is the CUNY Graduate Center. I know it's in the CUNY organization for sure.
Yeah.
Super intellectual guy, super smart, like very well versed in things that are happening internationally. Written many books, all of that. Okay. With that being said, one of his basically his areas of expertise is the conflict that's been happening between Israel and Palestine. And with that being said, he's done a lot of work on the ground there, in Gaza. And basically he was just talking about how, a lot of the reporters that he worked with, I think it was with the Al Jazeera, their basically media outlet there.
Yes.
He, like I said, he's been boots on the ground over there many a times. So he's worked with these people. Long story short, they were all tragically killed in a airstrike. That happened over there. And I understand that this topic is a very it's a very sensitive topic. A lot of people shy away from it. I personally don't understand it, but I understand it at the same time. But with that being said, I just feel like, if we're being honestly, the big picture of the whole situation in Gaza at this point, your takes on it all really does reflect your morals as your morals and your humility. Right?
I can agree with that.
And your humanity, sorry.
This is for people who have a take on it, not for people who know nothing about it.
Okay. Right. So with that being said, as the humanity, as we're all experiencing here, I was literally flabbergasted when I watched that clip, because what happened was, during the clip, he basically, Marc Lamont Hill, basically told the rest of his podcast castmates that his former co-workers that he worked alongside in Gaza were killed in an airstrike. Right? What does Joe Budden's ball behind do?
A terrible segue.
A terrible segue.
A terrible segue.
Literally lasted I don't know why he be doing this. People just died. And he just said that. Even if you don't want to touch on it, I feel like as a human,
there's a way. And
as a co-worker in this space, even if you didn't want to touch on the topic, you could have just been, not for nothing, even a damn. Like, I feel like you didn't even give that. Like, you was just trying to move the hell. Yeah. Damn, that's crazy. And that would have been crazy too. That would have been crazy, but at least I would acknowledge what he just said.
Yeah. That's the thing. I don't know why he be doing this. I would prefer a damn that's crazy over I don't know why he be doing this. Because what do you mean why he be doing this? You know who this man is. Let's not forget that what qualified him to be.
Clock it.
A part of this podcast.
Clock it.
Okay.
Intellect over there.
So again, I don't know why he be doing this. No, he be doing this because this is what he do. This is what he do. Literally,
he's not new to this. He's true to this. For
so real. I don't know why he be. And it was distasteful.
I feel like, not for nothing, like, let's say I was somebody who didn't want to touch this subject at all, right? I feel like
I'm sorry
it
to
would have
hear.
been right.
I'm sorry.
Isn't that the way that would have been? I'm sorry to hear that.
Are you okay?
Right.
Can we have a moment of silence? Somebody? Yeah. Have you spoken to somebody about it? Because sometimes you do have to talk to somebody about it.
Disgusting.
Those people are dead.
And that's how you decide. You made a joke?
Melissa's response was
she another
also
one.
Distasteful.
That's why she another one, please.
Because she's like,
but she's a bozo anyways too. So
how do you pivot from that? And it's just like,
why do we need to pivot?
The concern shouldn't be how we pivot from this. Can we acknowledge it? Because he's a part of this podcast, and his views and things that you say on the podcast is just as conducive to what you say, if not more.
Disgusting.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Why he got to be there?
I don't know. And honestly, you know what? I really just feel like the reason why they found it okay to just skip over that is the fact that, and it's something that as Black people we've all noticed, everyone's lives don't matter. Unfortunately. As we've been seeing with this whole situation, we've been seeing the way, and honestly, if you've been really paying attention and reflecting on it, it makes you really think about how we've been propagandized and desensitized to people in the Muslim faith. When we think about things like Call of Duty and all these video games and movies that we've seen that have shown terrorist attacks and stuff like that, all of that was on purpose. We were being fed that for us to have certain perceptions of these same humans that we walk the earth with. And I just felt like with Joe Biden, with him doing that, it just reminded me of the fact that he was just like trying to pivot and not even acknowledge these people who just lost their lives. Just it all tied in, it's all connected for me. Like I was just like, the fact that he thought that was okay just goes to show why we have politicians, if I'm connecting it back to Zoran Ramdani and his nomination, why these politicians are now okay with saying all types of crazy Islamophobic stuff straight out to us like that. Yeah. There has been a desensitizing that we've had to that. And it's wicked to see. And man,
I never feel like it's okay. Like, have your thoughts on it, negative or positive, but I do feel like when you hold a certain title and you have a certain influence
and platform,
you need to be mindful, very mindful, especially politicians. You need to be mindful of the things that you're saying. And the fact that politicians are not necessarily mindful, not necessarily, they're not mindful.
These politicians these days, this Trump admin, like they are just on another type of timing, honey.
And
they're just straight out racist, straight out homophobic, straight out Islamophobic. They don't care. Like that
bugs me because I'm just like,
we're desensitized. They're making that normal. The fact that they're doing that in our faces is literally on purpose. Like they're trying to make it just a normal way of speech now. Hence me talking about Jubilee and all of that stuff. There is a normalization. They're trying to make us be okay with hearing this type of stuff as if it's normal, and it's definitely not, y'all.
And it's not okay. And y'all that you're listening, don't make it okay. Call it out.
Please call it out.
Call it out. Call it out. Don't make it okay.
Even if it doesn't directly affect your community.
Yeah. Yeah.
We not all free. We not free if we not all free. That's the word.
And that's the T.
Okay. Sure.
And I wanted to mention my good homegirl Tiana Taylor because Escape Room drops.
First of all, that girl is such
Eats okay.
So creative.
When I watched
with many hats.
So many hats. And I'm just like, God, I'm like, this girl is.
I gotta see the whole thing. The only thing I saw was the Bed of Roses video.
Oh, we're gonna watch it after we do this. But yeah, it's so good. I literally just watched it a couple days ago. It dropped, I think, on the 21st. And when I watched it, I was like, I knew it wasn't gonna be anything short of good. Amazing. Because it's Tiana.
Yeah, no, like, she's gonna put her foot and all her love and passion into it.
Everything. And like, my favorite part was the ending, actually.
Oh, I can't wait to see.
My favorite part was the ending. It was a track. I think it's called Always. Let me just double check on my. It is called Always. It has her girls in it, Jhene and Rue. And Jhene gave a narration at the end, and I just want to say the narration out loud because in hearing the narration, I was just like, "This is so sweet," and that comes from a place of knowing that Tiana, she went through the divorce with Shump. And we didn't know about it until now. I've recently watched a couple interviews where she talked about it. She didn't necessarily, we wasn't supposed to know about the divorce, but it was Shump why we kind of knew about it. And it is what it is. This is where we are. And the daughter, Jhene, that's her oldest one. It said, it said, "Mommy, you've always been strong. You've always been love. You've always been ours. I watched you truly come home. I saw it. The way your laugh started to sound like sunlight again. Your eyes held a little more sparkle, like they remembered who you were. And I'm so proud. Me and Rue love you so much, and the world loves you so much. Thank you for coming back to music and back to you." Do y'all remember that Tiana Taylor retired from music? And to hear her big baby girl give her that narration, given the space that she's, I was just like, that's sweet. And that is also, it connects to millennial parenting because hearing her daughter say those words.
We're raising our kids with emotional intelligence.
Okay. Her daughter saw her with those words. Thank you for coming back to who you were. Thank you for coming back to the world. I was just like, yeah, Tiana, do you. That's fine. And I want to mention AP because like, I aesthetically like them together. Aaron Pierre, that's her partner currently.
It's Mufasa.
I aesthetically like them together. I watched an interview. It was an interview with Angie Martinez, I believe it was. She was on, and she pretty much said that he handles her like a cup of tea, and that made me smile because if you know Tiana, New York.
She is quintessential New York City Harlem girl.
Okay, she got the rough voice. She got the what? You know, like and to say that he handles her like a cup of tea is just like, how do you handle a cup of tea when you're walking very straight when you have a cup of tea? You're careful. Delicate. And I'm just like,
that's beautiful.
That's beautiful. And she also says that she considers him to be a baby in the industry because remember, Tiana was in this industry since she was a teen.
Fact.
We saw her on My Sweet 16.
First off, fun fact: the fact that she choreographed the Ring the Alarm video at 15, clock it.
Let's talk.
Girl, been in these streets. She got into this. She true to this for real. That creative space is hers,
and the creative space definitely is hers. And that goes into my mention of her and AP. She's like, he's a baby in this industry, and I protect him. I want to protect him. She's seen what the industry can do to you. She's seen how you can, and this is gonna go into my topic. She sees how you can be multifaceted, and they can still look at you like, well, what do you bring to the table? I am the table, honey.
Ooh,
I am the table, and because you want to box me in, it doesn't mean that I'm going to be boxing. But what I will do is remove myself altogether, and I feel like that was a reason for her retiring. So hearing her say like, she looks at him as a baby in the industry, like, yeah, you could be in the industry, you could be the cat's meow right now. But she's been in the industry for some time. Choosing to retire when she did, and also realizing like, nah, this ain't about them. This is about me and what I can bring to the, what I can do out here. Right. And for her to put her foot back in music and to give me this, like, come on, girl. And she gave me body through the whole thing.
Honey,
I was looking at this girl like, come on.
The trailers that I saw for it, I was like, oh, I know this is about to be a masterpiece of just visual art. And I already know even just the sonic end of it, is gonna be amazing as well.
And she's a
talent for real.
She recently mentioned having surgery on her vocal cords. I'm sure she's in recovery right now. Oh, wow. But since it was just recently, she was on a interview where she was saying that she was gonna get it done, and then I saw a recent interview saying that she got it done. So
good. Well,
it was
girl.
really it was nice to see. And she's like, the way that I'm talking, because I know that I be talking like real. I have like I have a deep voice in a sense at times.
Very much given in New York.
very much. She's been talking in like a very, almost like how I'm talking now, like very monotone. Like I can't really go too high, too low, just like give it that. And
she seems to be in a peaceful place.
I love that for her. I love that for her. Like that's what you need. Like that is
we
what
all need.
you need.
We all need. Find your peace, y'all.
This also goes into my main topic because we speaking on it.
Because what you about to speak on, sister? Tell us. Let the girls know.
Come on, girl. We talking about being multifaceted.
Okay, come on.
In a world full of just find a skill. Pick a skill. I don't know if y'all can hear that, but I don't know if y'all can hear that, but they're speed racing on the street
in New York.
And just in case you can't hear that, cut this. Zuri, cut this. No, but yeah, being multifaceted in a world full of just find you a skill, enhance you a skill. We are familiar with the term of a jack of all trades and a master of none. Me, I don't think there is truth to the statement, but I also have lots of questions more than I agree with the truth to the statement. I don't think it's that true as far as being a jack of all trades and master of none. Although I understand that, I think that being a jack of all trade and a master of none, I think how true that can be. I think that can be true when it comes to just find a skill. Because if you're being told, just find a skill and master it, the idea they want you to pick a skill and master it. But when you're a jack of all trades, and quote unquote a master of none, it doesn't necessarily mean that you know how to do so many things, but if you need to enhance or teach or make a living off of it, you won't be able to. That's the perspective that I look at the statement as, like, master of none. I think that there is so much talent and creativity in being a jack of all trades. I know I'm a jack of all trades. I don't agree with the master of none. Because if I choose to master one of my trades, I can. Do I want to master my trades? Eventually. Which one? I'm not too sure yet. I think I still have some time to solidify and say, yeah, this is the trade I want to master. But essentially, I believe in not necessarily mastering a specific trade. I personally feel like creativity opens doors for things that we don't necessarily anticipate or foresee. And if we live in a world that, like, it's capitalism.
No, for sure.
So capitalism wants you to pick a skill.
Because capitalism wants you to stay a slave.
And that's the point of capitalism. Yeah.
If you have more than one skill, right?
Lead. You can lead.
You can lead.
You can lead. You can lead. You can do so much with.
You're not as easy to control with that too.
You can be You are multifaceted. That's what that is. And capitalism wants you to pick one thing that you're good at and master it. You don't have to.
Keeping you right in that box.
You can go ahead and lead because you're good at so many things, and you're able to pivot. You're able to pick up. You're able to grow. You're able to do things or learn things a little bit more quickly, or maybe you're more open to certain things. I think it's important to be creative. Creativity is very important because that's how jobs are created. Look at content creators.
Yep.
How many years ago? What we're gonna give it 10 years ago. We didn't think 10 years ago that content creating would be where it is now.
Oh yeah.
People are thriving and living lives, buying homes off of content creating. So it's like, don't let somebody tell you, or don't let the world tell you that you need to pick a skill. And look at Tiana.
Doing everything she's acting.
I can actually refer to Rose in Harlem.
Hello.
From her last album. There's a line that she said, they ask me what I do everything. I move everything. And period, I do.
Period. Come on.
Because they want you to sit here. And I resonate with that so much because a lot of times people ask, well, what do you do? And I've always had a difficult time saying like what it is that I do. Because I know what I do. But at the same time, I still do a lot of other things too. Well. So while people are looking for specific answers, stand on that. I move everything. I do everything. Period. And I put that on. Let me not sing the lyrics. You're
about to have a Tiana Tail out.
Okay. But yeah, I encourage. I say all that to say I encourage being multifaceted. I encourage embracing having many talents. I believe that breeds good leaders. That breeds leaders. While there's nothing wrong with picking a skill and mastering it, I definitely think that picking a skill and mastering it, there's an art to it. So I'm not talking down on picking the skill. There's definitely an art to, say you decide that, I'm going to pick one thing and do that one thing, master it. Fine with you. It's okay that you master it. But be so damn good at it that you can do this with your eyes closed. You can teach somebody else, and also be open to somebody else teaching you how you can further master your skill. Because now that you've mastered that skill, this goes back to us saying that two things can be true at once. You master that skill, and you teach that to somebody else, and now that person masters the skill that you taught them with their own little twist on it, and now it enhances the blueprint that you created. You're also building leaders.
It's true.
So again, the jack of all trades and the master of none, I don't believe fully in the statement. I encourage and embrace being multifaceted. And I also embrace and encourage if picking a skill is just you, because sometimes one person can't focus on all the things that they're good at. They just need one thing, and that's fine. But when you do it, be so good at it that you're willing to teach somebody else and be open to it, that while you teach somebody else this skill that you've mastered, that they're able to add on to your skill and teach you something a little bit different. So yeah, embrace yourself. Creativity is a thing.
And
lean into it.
Like I said, the way the world is going, we gonna need us a couple hats, okay?
We are.
Get on it. Okay. Now.
Meow.
So I just wanted to basically speak on I said a while ago that our silence is complicity, but so is us being passive with things. Like I said earlier, I mentioned the normalization of certain things. Us being passive with certain things is normalizing as well. When it comes to children in America, when are we going to say enough is enough? Because just recently in Minnesota, there was another school shooting.
I saw that, and I intentionally turned my head away from it, not because I don't care, but when is it enough? Why am I seeing another headline like this? Again?
We can't even send our kids to school
Jesus.
Without worrying that they might not return home. Like, I feel like...
And the thought of having to prepare, like having to have the conversation with your children, because now it's back to school time. So these are conversations that we now have to have with our children because it's back to school time, and we see this happening. So now we have to make our little boys and girls, no matter their ages, aware of. It's almost like you're preparing them for war.
No, you're absolutely right.
And it's like, how do we have the conversation? We're literally being tossed into having the conversation. Because you can't not have the conversation because it can be their school next. And I don't like that. I'm not okay with that.
I really want to also just mention the fact that I feel like America, they like to play this game of like, we care so much about the kids, hate the kids.
Until they don't.
Exactly. And we see this all the time. Like right now, there are kids whole ass being starved and bombed in Gaza. No one's batting an eye. We see, like I said, school school shootings happening. Thoughts and prayers is all people have to give, right?
Because Toni, wait, it doesn't affect them. Because it didn't. We're living in New York at the moment, and this is me sarcastically speaking for anybody who can't hear me.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't affect them. It didn't happen at the school around the corner from me, so I'm not concerned, and that is the problem.
I've been saying this individualism is going to kill us. It's going to kill us, and as Black people, we are not naturally individualistic like this. This is the Europeans' ways that they have been forcing onto us. But
but you're touching it on a broader
yeah,
scale. Go ahead.
Yeah, but yeah, no, for real. This individualism is going to kill us. We need community. We are not those type of people. We need each other. Period. Point blank. But yeah, going back to all of the hypocrisy that we see around children, as far as American society likes to claim that they protect so much, like stuff like our president cutting research to children's cancer and such like that. How much do we really hear about the kids? Y'all claim I got Christian family values, this, that, and the third, but yet kids is dying all around us, whether it's on U.S. soil or not, and we're watching it live, and nobody's batting an eye.
It's kind of like what I think I don't know if I mentioned this earlier on the episode or if it was before we started, recording, where it's pretty much, if I give you what's in my left hand, you won't see what my right hand is doing.
That's a fact.
And that's very much what is happening. Because just like you said, like, we care so much. You say it out loud, but then these things are happening and nobody says anything about it.
Right.
So if I'm sitting here, you saying it, that's me stretching out my left hand, but not doing anything about it. You don't see what my right hand is doing.
There was no action behind the words ever.
Yikes.
So with that being said, it just makes me think, is there even a line?
A very thin line.
I don't think that there is a line. I don't think there's a line.
I can see that.
I just feel like a lot of political agendas right now are being pushed onto us, and it's quite literally affecting the children.
Yes.
I also feel like us thinking that children, because really in past, I feel like people all acted like children were the line. Like, okay, you guys are, you're hurting kids. This is the line for me.
We're in a space now to see that children are not.
Are not. They are not the line. First off, if we're talking about even just the Epstein files that just came out. Let me ask you, they came out because they didn't come out.
I was gonna say
they didn't come out.
They're not gonna put them out.
The things that we have uncovered, or the people that we have uncovered that
so far
we know are in those files in some way, shape, or fashion, right? What we do know that they are in them files, right? When you guys are all pushing onto us that children is the line, and yet you're normalizing putting people like a Ghislaine Maxwell into a minimal security prison. It's just very much, the math is not mathing. Like, I feel like it's very hypocritical. Like, do you care about the kids or not? Or is the pretending that kids are the line, is that a way to comfort us and our complicity in being passive with these situations?
I think that's what it is. I think that's what it is. I think that's exactly what it is.
I'm in this real place of just like, I feel like everything that I thought I knew.
Because if they say, not to cut you off, but if they say out loud that children are the line, remember, children are supposed to be the soft spot. So if I'm telling the public that the children are the line, you're going to think that I'm going to do everything in my power to protect the children. And remember, people don't know what protecting the children essentially really look like. So you can say it out loud that that's what you're doing, that's the intent and all that kind of stuff, but that also keeps us complacent, because now you saying it out loud, we are supposed to be taking your word for it. We're trusting that what you said out loud, like that's what you're going to do, because essentially you're the one that's putting out the narrative that the children are the line and we are doing this with the children. So it's the cushion to be like, okay, well, this is what we're going to do. It's almost like a pat your back. This is, here you go. The children are the line. The children are the line, honey. It is. Don't worry. We're trying to do our best to take care of it. But are you? What does your best look like? Because if this is your best and it continues to happen, and then it gets swept under the rug or not talked about, or it doesn't get there are no results. There are no changes.
Because them people don't want to give their guns up, honey. So gun reform laws, to hell with that. The kids to keep dying.
And then all the things that are happening,
the kids are the line.
Daily
right?
things happen. Daily thing. When I say daily things happen, it's like things happen in the world, like everything with taxes, everything with healthcare, everything with all these things happen in people's real lives, and that's a distraction. Because now we continue to be complacent.
We're in the rat race.
Yeah,
we're so busy being in the rat race of America.
Remember, they said that the children is the line, so they're gonna do whatever it is. So it's like, okay, I'm gonna let y'all do y'all, but now I gotta take care of and while we're taking care of all these things, we're not consciously like, oh, but they said the kids was a line. These things are still happening.
It's crazy to think Columbine happened, Sandy Hook happened, Uvalde happened. All right, and I know there's a bunch of other schools in between the schools, those shooting tragedies that have happened. But I feel like, when are we not snapping into reality and realizing that this is not normal? This is not okay. Like, there is no reason why kids should be at school doing active shooter drills. Like this is just...
Yeah. It don't make sense. Yeah, that's true.
I swear, I have my son, and I think to myself all the time. I know people always ask me all the time, like, am I going to have another child? And I'm just like, yo, the way the world is going, like, sometimes I'm just like, man, I'll be going to tell my little one, my bad, bro. Like, I just feel like this world is, like, going to shit for real. Like, I don't know. And like I said, for us to literally be watching kids being starved, for us to watch kids being shot dead while they're supposed to be... First off, they said some of the kids that they shot in Minnesota, they were freaking praying.
Oh my!
While they shot them. So nobody wants to hear about no thoughts and prayers. Like, this is beyond now at this point. And I feel like we're not mad enough. And I feel like we're not mad enough about a couple things, to be honest. But especially when it comes to the kids, that's where everyone should be mad. But we're not. I feel like we're just in the freaking rat race of capitalism in America. And like I said, us being passive, all of that is just a product of that. Like, I feel like everyone's just like trying to survive. Like, we're just... our head is just...
Yeah, it's the intention of it. That's the intention of it.
That's their way of keeping control of us. Because really
think about it. Like, we're not doing enough, and like we're being passive about it. But at the same time, it's how do we do something about it and not be silenced?
Right.
Because there's only so much that we can do, knowing that we're not the masses. And when I say knowing that we're not the masses, I don't mean as Black people. I mean as the majority who make the choice of who runs the government and not. It's yeah, the idea of it, like, that's the intention of it, because there's not much that we can necessarily do about it. Because yes, we can be enraged and all that stuff, but again, they try their best to silence you in many, many ways. And what's easier for us, the people that, even though we essentially choose our government, what's easier for us to do? It's probably easiest for us to shut up about it. Because if we don't shut up about it, then we're not focusing on getting our bills paid. We're not focusing on what we're supposed to, the next day. The next thing that capitalism wants us to worry on, like the hamster wheel. Like, we stay on that hamster wheel. But we have to figure something out. We have to figure out something as a people. How do we... and I don't want to say revolutionize, because that sounds very...
But that's very fitting, because how do we revolutionize? Put that on speaker.
Yeah, no, that's true. And revolutionize is essentially probably is a word. I said essentially probably. Whatever. Cut that part.
But speaking of revolutions, they always say, for revolutions to happen, the first revolution has to be in your mind. If we're not really thinking about, like I said, things like, okay, how complicit are we in? How are we all in when we see things like the normalization of children being murdered in our state? Like, we have to be able to really think about that, really sit in it, be accountable for the roles that we all play in it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yes, revolution in your mind, then on the streets.
Yeah.
Get there.
And I also think that I'm going to bring up individualism again.
Mhm.
I feel like also because that's the world that we live in, like, though we live in a world that we do need community, the world does emphasize on individualism. Every man for themselves, essentially. And I believe that that's also a part of the reason why nothing necessarily gets done and we remain complacent in just taking their word for what it is that they're doing. And then some happens and we're just like, that's not what y'all said y'all was gonna do. And they're just like, yeah, we know it's not, but here we are. And it's just like, oh, y'all not gonna keep playing in my face like this. And I feel like we need to be in a space like, okay, y'all not gonna keep playing in my face like this now, because essentially it's our children. It can be our children.
Remember what the Panther said: power to the people. The power needs back in the people's hands. These people above us is running amok, honey. Calling all the blacks. I said I want black. Okay. Yes. We need to get on that for real though, but yeah.
When you said running amok, I thought of Mama D. No, I thought of Mama D.
They ran amok in the palace.
Oh man.
Oh man.
Let's chat, girl.
Yeah. So for the chatation, I wanted to talk about black hair. Okay. I want to talk about this because this is something that actually I've really been like, that's something I've been like decolonizing in my own mind too.
What do you mean?
For myself, like growing up, my hair was always something that I feel like was always spoken negatively around as a child. I really do have hair trauma. I've come to realize that too. But that's something I think
we'll unpack this later.
But basically, I saw a post and I shared it, and it was something that really sat me off. Damn, I really want to talk about this. The fact that a lot of black women are almost conditioned to feel like their hair isn't beautiful, or them being in their natural state of being isn't seen as beautiful or palatable to society. And we see this throughout history as well. You know, during slavery, literally, like slave masters would be super like intrigued with black women in their hair. And a lot of times, you know, that would be fetishization that they would act on by force. And so that there became laws because a lot of their wives and the white women around were basically like, no, I gotta cover that up. So they would do things like, you know, cover their hair with scarves, these beautiful, you know, material scarves, making fashion out of it.
Not to cut you, but sidebar, back in the days, my mom, my stepdad is very black, but back in the days, my mom dated outside of her race, and the men were in love with black hair. Like they loved whenever she wore her hair out, or if she had like, say like she had like an Afro kinky wig or something like that. Oh, they would love when she wore her hair like that. And I observed it, but I never really, you know, thought too deep about it. But as you know, over time, and I think about certain things as an adult, and I'm just like, oh wow, that's what that was.
And it's a fetish. It's interesting that you say that. And I don't want to say maybe no, it might be a fetish. I don't want to
not across the board, because like let me not say that.
I've never dated white, so I don't really know what that really looks like. But I do know that they are enamored with our hair, and I'm sure it's because it's not hair they're used to seeing. You get what I'm saying? So like, it is like this, like, wow, this unique thing. What is this?
What's this?
And like I said, like during slavery, they literally were laws at that point that black women weren't even like, some places weren't even allowed to have their natural hair out. They literally had to put scarves on it. And most of the time, like I said, they turned it into fashion. use beautiful materials, and the white men were still enamored with even just the fashionable end of the coverings, right? And it just reminded me of even me being a kid. Like, I feel like growing up, like, doing my hair was always a task. Like, I hated my hair. I hated having to do it. Like, I think the adults that were doing my hair, they hated doing it too. Like, it was just like, I think
they never necessarily had nothing nice to say doing it.
Yes.
You're tough. And then they would always talk about like the certain kind of products that they need. Oh, me can't use that to not this person ear because I understand that.
Even like stuff like the doing perm super young because they can't manage your hair type and stuff like that. Like, honey, been there. And my aunt actually, she called me the other day, and we took a little quick trip down memory lane, and she was basically talking about how remembering me as a kid and how I never used to like doing my hair. And trust me, I remember when we had initially bought our home, we had our housewarming, and I'll never forget, like, they were fighting tooth and nail for me to get my hair done, and I refused, honey. I've always been a little worried in that sense. I refused, and I remember I just put like a scarf on my head. Like, I've always just felt like my hair was just like this, like, burden in this sense. Like, whatever.
That's interesting. We'll talk about this later.
Yeah. And growing up, obviously, once you get into high school and stuff like that, wigs, weaves, all of that stuff starts to come into play. And I would say, what year was that I had finally decided to just start wearing my natural? I want to say that might have been the year that I had gotten pregnant. So when I was about 26, I would say that I just decided especially after learning about, Black history and just like really getting in tap with my roots and stuff like that, I just learned that, yeah, it's okay to exist with your natural hair. Your natural hair is beautiful as well. Like, you know what I mean?
And you don't need to do anything to it to make anybody okay with your presence.
Yes. I also brought up the hair topic because my good sis hair is a shop baby. Shout out to Miss Charmaine because she's definitely been holding my hair down for many years as well. I wanted to say your mom was like one of the first people that actually spoke
life over your hair.
Over my hair. Yes.
She does that a lot.
Child, don't get me to crying because but yeah, no, like, and it's crazy. I don't know if that was something that she knew that I needed to. I think I've just always, like I said, let me start crying. I'm like, I really do have hair trauma, and I've come to really realize that. But your mom was like one of the first people to like really speak over my hair, speak life over it, and also it's like showing me different avenues of ways to manage it. Like, I feel like there was definitely a care that was there, and it really did like fix something with me. And I think that's part of why I was okay with my natural at a point too. Like, I was just like, yeah, like, I think she definitely fed me the words I needed to hear at the time. I actually remember one time I was in your mom's shop and there was this lady that came in there. She was a little crazy, but she basically said,
"Aren't they all? Most of them."
But she had basically said something like, "My hair was a curse." She said that to me. Ooh. And your mom, I remember your mom spoke over me, even like it was just beautiful. Like, I really did appreciate. Shout out to your mom for that.
She really doesn't play stuff like that.
But even that lady saying that to me, I'm like, it just literally took me back to feeling like a kid about my hair. Like, I feel like there's always just been like this.
Because your hair is your crown.
It is. And I feel like
it's one of the first things that people see when they see you. And if you already don't have a good relationship with your hair based off of the things that people have said about it to you growing up, you don't really want to deal with it.
Yeah.
You're gonna think it's a problem.
Right.
Just like you mentioned, you thought it was a burden.
It was a burden. I thought it was ugly. I'm just like, oh, okay. So now I'm throwing wigs, weaves, whatever I can over it. Like, I'm always hiding it.
Yeah. And that's also a thing with Caribbean culture, that there's always something about coarse hair that they have to negatively speak over it. Like, there's very few beauticians that care.
Right.
many beauticians, they can do hair and they can care for your hair. But when I say care, meaning care to speak life into the person that you're doing their hair, essentially, because you are touching somebody's crown. When you are doing somebody's hair, you're touching somebody's crown. Whatever it is that you're literally speaking over the person. You may not intentionally be speaking over the person, but the things that you are saying as you are touching the person's hair can come to fruition.
Right.
The power of the tongue is real. And I'm always say that it doesn't have to be like a biblical thing. It doesn't have to be a spiritual thing, but the power of the tongue is really real. And people can say certain things because you don't know the heart that people carry too. You don't know what people, you don't know the other person's relationship that they have with their hair. You don't know what, you know what I'm saying? Like, you never know what other people hear about themselves while they walk around talking the way that they talk.
No, for sure.
And especially in Caribbean households, they have a preference of softer hair. They have preference of something. If your hair is going to be curly and kinky,
if you know Black people, whether it's in the Caribbean, in
Black
Africa,
people overall, not just Caribbean.
That's the Black experience. Period. You know, we always hear about the good hair, bad hair. That's been a thing in our community. And really, and I, like I said, with my studies and everything like that, like I really, the revolution in my mind, like I said, that occurred. I really thought about it, like,
I'm not doing this.
I'm not, excuse my language, but fuck this. Like, I just feel like, why am I shackling myself down for existing in the way that I exist? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I gotta show up. This is me. I have to show up like this. I have to show up like this.
This is my hair. This is the way it grows. Like,
if I ever can't put a wig on, I have to show up like this.
And I have to be okay. And I have to love it and think it's beautiful the same way. And it just made me think about just like how, just as Black women, like our just connections to our hair. Like, I've heard many of women say, like, you know, when their hair's not done, how they feel depressed. Like, I feel like these are things I'm just like, damn, yo, like, this is not normal, y'all. Like, we gotta break out of this matrix for real. Like,
I was just talking to my mom earlier today. Matter of fact, I was like, you know what? I'm bringing back $90 stocking caps.
Come on now.
And $150 weaves.
Come on now.
Because back when we was spraying those prices, I believe that beauticians cared about your hair. I believe that beauticians cared about the person in their chair. You can go into the salon, and this is not to say like you can't charge for what you want to charge or whatever the case may be, but
they'll be charging me an arm and a leg and not washing my hair.
I was just gonna say, like, being a shop baby, I know of you coming, and God rest Auntie Jackie's soul. You come in, your hair is getting washed. Oh, you need a stocking cap? Oh, we braiding it under it too. And we charging you the $90 to wash your hair, braid your hair, and treat the hair, and put the stocking cap under it. And then we're gonna tell you to come back, and a stocking cap can last you a good 2.5-3 weeks. So I can remember they'll tell you, oh, come back, and when you take it off, come back and wash your hair and get it treated. Or they'll tell you like, oh, something's happening under the cap, because a lot of times, because a lot of women deal with hair trauma, they cover it up with stuff. And then they go to a beautician, and the beautician's like, oh, you can do X, Y, and Z with your hair. I'm gonna put the cap over it and come back in 3 weeks, and I'm gonna do X, Y, and Z. And I believe that people genuinely cherished that kind of thing coming from their beautician, because a lot of people, when you think about it, a lot of those people, as an adult now, a lot of those people were in corporate spaces. They were in corporate spaces and they didn't have the time. Coming from a corporate space or being in a corporate space, you realize that there's certain things that shouldn't be luxuries that have become luxuries. So imagine what they were experiencing, you know, back in those days. So I said to my mom, I was like, because again, it's one of my dreams to reopen my own salon. Like, when the girl talks about being multifaceted, honey,
she do hair, she do nails,
ear, nails, and sing. But yeah, it's always been one of my dreams to have a beauty bar. Coming into fruition, yes, but also hearing you talk about it, like, it fuels me a little bit more to like really make that dream really become a reality sooner than later. Because I know that there are people, like, I know the state of the world that we're in. And as millennials, Toni, we've lived through some things.
Child.
And we've seen the
we
adults.
Stop living through them either.
We've grown, and we've grown with a lot of the adults, especially you and I. We've grown with a lot of the adults that we've seen certain things, like go through certain things that we just like, oh, this comes from a certain kind of, we're able to identify like, oh,
where
this
it comes from.
Certain kind of,
Whereas they might not have been aware
and they're not
either.
able to. So it's just like, you see where the need is, and you're just like, oh yeah, we gotta jump in and do something for the generation coming up, because I don't want these little black girls thinking that they gotta have straight hair down the back to be qualified for something.
Let me tell you, I remember it was I'm a teacher. I remember that it was right around picture day that was about to happen. So all my little girls, they ended up, right, picture day was coming up. And so all the girls had the braids out, had their naturals on. When I say, honey, the way I make sure I go out of my way to make sure every little black girl that hair is beautiful. Oh. Yes. They came with their naturals. I was like, oh, the girls with their naturals. I was definitely like, I feel like that's so important. I feel like that also heals something in me as well, too, to do that. So I
keep doing that.
No, I do. I make sure I make it. I make sure I let every little black girl know that their natural hair is beautiful. They look beautiful in it.
It does heal something in you. It does, because it's almost you're speaking the life that somebody didn't speak to
me, for real.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
And definitely, your girl is definitely bringing back $90 stocking caps.
Come on now. And first off,
$150 weave.
Shout outs to all the OG hairdressers. Okay. The ones that still, like you said, doing the full-on care and treatment of your hair.
Okay.
Not the girls charging you $11 and telling you to come with your weave taken out, your braids taken out, wash, detangled, treat it on your own, bleach on your own, color it on your own, damn near sewn it on your own.
Bring your needle, bring your thread. You got some spritz? Get the glue. We got the braid in here, though.
For real.
We got the braid in here.
See?
But yeah, I bring back $90, and I will. I'm bringing all that stuff back. Toni, I love that. Yeah. I love that. That actually encouraged me a little bit more to really foot on next. This is happening. Okay, it's happening.
Do it, girl. We need it. We need to do it for the community.
I wanted to talk about generally having differences, whether it be with a friendship, relationship, co-worker, like whatever the relationship is, just having differences and being okay with whatever it looks like after realizing that, oh, we have differences. And it can be different kind of differences. It can be differences as light as, oh, we don't agree with the sun rises at 5 o'clock. To it can be I don't think that weed should be legal. Well, I think that it doesn't matter if it's legal or not. It's
still accessible.
It's like it could be differences, like ranges of differences is the point that I'm making.
Right.
And being okay with what the relationship looks like. The only difference that I can't be okay with is a moral difference. If we can agree and disagree on pizza. We can't have moral disagreements.
I agree.
Because once we have a moral disagreement, it goes against the character. For me, my perspective, this is Terry.
Hello now.
I believe that if we disagree on something morally, then it says a lot about your character. I'm not willing to dissect that. I'm not trying to hear you out. I can hear you out, but I can also accept that, oh, there's a difference here.
Right.
And this is a moral difference, and I'm cool with this being the last conversation.
I know that's right.
It's not beef. We don't have to go back and forth of why I feel this way and why you feel this way. You don't have to justify what you said. You don't have to try to get me to understand where you're coming from. I will not be justifying or try to get you to understand why I morally don't agree with it. We can disagree on pepperonis and pineapples on top of pizza, but we can't disagree on like basic human rights.
Right.
We can't disagree. Like there's just some things like it just don't. It don't like it.
No.
And and we need to be okay with it in every space, in the workspace,
Amen.
in the friendship space,
Mm-hmm.
in the religious space,
Mm-hmm.
in anywhere that we go, we got to be okay with it. And some people don't, many people don't know how to be okay with that, because society tells you need to either conform, and if you're not conforming,
get down or lay down.
Okay. And the thing is, I'm not a yes man.
No.
And I can like you, and we can see eye to eye on so many things. We can be relatable on so many things. But once it comes to a moral disagreement, once I got to start to question like who you are as a person and character, because again, for me, if there is something that I don't agree with you on and it goes against my morals
or my existence
and I'm not willing to compromise that.
No.
And I'm not going to explain
it. There's nothing to even debate here or budge on.
Like, I'm not willing to compromise it, and I'm not willing to explain it, because if you feel that it's okay we're going to use...
I got you. I got you.
Stepping, huh?
You can't say that you my friend, Becky Sue, and tell me that you okay with DEI ending.
Okay.
Excuse me? So you're completely okay with me and my child and everyone else being cut loose with our livelihoods? No.
Yeah. And
bye, Becky Sue.
And Becky Sue, you a part of DEI, woman in the workspace. But okay. Like it's like things like that I'm okay with being like, you know what, actually
I'm good on you.
I'm good on this. And it don't take much for me to come to that realization. And I realize that many people have a hard time dealing with that. I don't have a hard time dealing with it, which I also observe that people are like, well, why she don't want to hear me out? Well, why she don't want it? And the thing is like,
there's nothing more to hear.
Honey, that's for you to figure out, because I have this ship has sailed. I am gone. The door is closed. Come on, the door is closed, honey. I locked shop. But gone. Long time. And I talk about this. I don't have nothing to say.
And I also feel like with the having differences of opinions or anything like that, like I can deadass never speak to you again. And I don't feel no beef in my heart for you. Like
none at all.
But I feel like a lot of people have a problem with that.
They do. Because
I don't fuck with you, but
why don't you want to explain to me why we're not talking?
Because you know you're being a dickhead.
But the thing is, I want you to tell me why, so I can tell you. No, but I'm not.
So you can justify it.
Because you can justify it, and that's my bottom line.
But there's nothing to justify if you're trying to mess with my existence, my livelihood, and my betterment of me and my futures, my generations, my legacy now.
And that's my bottom line here. We need to be okay with whatever the relationship is. Because I've had even a recent experience that we've talked about off camera. We need to be okay with whatever that relationship looks like. It doesn't matter if we are 30 years in a friendship or 2 years into a friendship. Once your moral integrity and mine don't align, I'm okay with stepping loose. And I know that I'd be okay with stepping loose because I'm solid.
That part.
I'm solid on what it is that I think and feel. You can try to sway me as much as you want to, but it's because I know that I'm solid. And a lot of times people, they can't wrap their head around you being solid on stepping aside from what their perspective is, given the amount of time that they have known you. And the thing is, that's for them to deal with.
That part.
This is a free plug because I'm probably not getting. I'm not getting paid for that. But The Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins. It's a good book. Read it. I will include the link in the description. But The Let Them Theory.
That part.
Yeah. It if you're having trouble or don't understand where I'm coming from with this, grab the book. And that's really what I wanted to touch on. My bottom line is be okay with having a difference in opinion and having differences overall, regardless of what the relationship is, regardless of how long you may have known the person. Some things are salvageable, and other things just aren't. Like I said, we can disagree on what topping goes on pizza, but we won't disagree with basic moral and human rights. And the space that I personally am in, I'm not looking to justify or explain why what we just disagreed on goes against my morals. Because if I've come to the conclusion that it goes against my morals, and I'm obviously saying it out loud to the person, and the conversation would be, well, I feel this way because of XYZ. Okay, cool. And that would be the last of the conversation. Like, okay, no problem. Because I'm not going to go back and forth with you and try to change your perspective. That's the thing. People are looking for you to try to change your perspective. Use a big great tone, Uman. I'm not looking to change your mind on how you feel about what you feel. I heard you loud and clear. And if
however you feel, especially at that point, it's probably so damn ingrained in you that honey,
and I'm not looking to do. I'm not. I'm
not deconstructing that. We're not your therapist. No.
So, I say that to say be okay with it, and there's nothing wrong with being cordial after accepting that. Oh, this is a difference that like I can't get jiggy with this. No. I can't get jiggy. I literally have a song for everything, but yes. Okay. Let's hear it though. Let's hear it.
All right, so we're gonna go over our 2 song selections for the week. My song selection is called "Lucky Girl" by Carlina. That's actually one of my favorite songs too. I feel like all the songs I've given you. I feel these last couple episodes have been songs that I've like play for purposeful reasons for the most part.
Wait a minute. Say that again and slow it down. Sidebar. We're gonna keep this part in the podcast, and let me tell whoever's watching.
PSA.
We're from New York, and we talk really fast.
We
understand each other, and we're also Jamaican. And while we understand each other, we're trying to have you guys understand us.
Yes.
So say it again. Who?
So let me run it back. So my song selection for the week is "Lucky Girl" by Carlina. I was just saying that all the songs that I've been giving you guys from episode 1, 2 to now 3 are all songs that I play. They're purposeful to me in some type of way. Lucky Girl, literally, like, that is the song to play if you need to motivate yourself as a woman. Like, I feel like she goes, there's a line and she goes, all things flow through me. Like, you have to listen to it. It's really a really, really good song.
I meant to listen to it because since we put this together, I didn't get the chance to listen to it, but now that you've explained it, your perspective of it, I'm
whenever you feel a little low, you're not maybe feeling like the most confident in something, drop it real quick. Remind yourself that you're that girl. Okay.
And is that girl.
Yeah.
And for me, it isn't a full song, but I'm gonna go with, correct me if I said her name incorrectly, Jhene Aiko.
Jhene
Aiko. Okay. Define Me. Interlude from her I don't think it's her most recent album, her last album. I have to. It's Define Me from her album Chilombo. It's an interlude, not a full song.
You love a good interlude.
I love a good interlude. So pretty much I chose it. I'm gonna read what it says. It's try me, you cannot define me. I can tell you're trying. First you've got to find me. Time, you've gotten behind me. All in divine timing. Rising despite your denying, you cannot define me. And I picked that song because it resonates with me that I've been boxed into pick a person, pick a personality, pick something and stick with it. And this song, this interlude reminds me of, you can't really define me because your girl is multifaceted here.
Clock it.
They want you to pick something because it makes you easier to be controlled. And that's not always, the idea that they're going for. But essentially, for me, my reason for picking the song is it's just a reminder that you can't be defined. You are who you are. You are this creative being. You are this multifaceted person. You experience the things that you've experienced. You know the things that you know, and you're willing to learn and grow from the things that you don't know, or may have had a different perspective from. And I want someone else that's out there that's listening to this. Thanks for listening to the podcast, y'all. But I want someone to decide, like, oh, I ain't never heard this song, this interlude from Chilombo. Let me go listen to it.
Come on,
and yeah, but you can't be defined, especially if you are this bright, talented, intellectual painter, thinker, hands-on mechanic in one body. Don't let somebody tell you, anybody ever tell you, not even this capitalistic world, tell you that pick something and stick with it. Unless you are choosing to pick something and stick with it, you can't be defined in any space when you know who you are and own who you are.
Amen.
So yeah, and
thanks for tuning into the TNT podcast.
Got a story, topic of interest? Email us at tee.teapodcast@gmail.com.
Meet us here again, same day and same time next week.
Bye.